Good afternoon, weebs. Good afternoon, weebettes. My name is Kush. This is Anime Convos. We are talking about rivalries, specifically 5 of them. What are we doing? We're conversating about the best. I wanted to go over this comprehensive list of my personal favorite opinions to put it out there, to cement it to you, my community, and to everyone else online. It's going to be pretty simple. We're going to go through, I'm going to give you the ins and outs of why I think it is making the list, what the list is, and we're just going to go from there. I want to say thank you, and I also want to say like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Let's begin. Rounding out the bottom of the list, number 5 is Samurai Champloo. Super good anime. It rounds out the bottom of the list just because it is a little bit shorter. We're starting at 27 episodes. Now from episode 1 to episode 27, it is literally just a clash of these two demons throwing katanas at each other, throwing their mind at each other, doing a whole bunch of things that really push the plot forward. Now, do not get me wrong, there is a well-endowed main character. She does do a whole bunch with the story arc. We're not going to talk about her because we're talking about the rivalry. Now, they can defeat 95% of the show. It's just a fact. If they come up to a random person, they're going to slaughter them. Show random samurai getting beat up. Now, we can go into the fact that they can't kill each other. So that's going to make them both mad. A random Reddit user said it best. I believe his name is Tiger1296. Put his quote right here. So, it's just crazy. You have the unorthodox, you have the rigid, you have the wave clashing with the lightning bolt, you have opposites coming together, the yin and the yang. It's a super cool rivalry. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of others, starting with number 4. The Joestar family versus Dio Brando. I do not have a cool prop for this one, I do apologize. So for that, we are going to put a lovely family tree right up here. We are going to talk about the long-standing rivalry between a crazy vampire demigod and a simple yet complex family of crazy men and one woman. We'll get into that later. So, we're going to start off by going way back, right? So you get a brother who is adopted, right? He comes and lives at your house, you learn to love him. He then beats you up really badly with dirty boxing. He then kills your dog, takes your girl's first kiss, tries to kill you, kills your father, then becomes a vampire, then tries to kill everybody else. You then fight him to the death in your burning house. He doesn't die. He comes and tries to kill your girl with a bunch of zombies on a boat. He then kills you and steals your body, right? Flash forward to your grandson. Now your grandson is in a jail cell because he tried to kill himself and can't and got scared of this mystical thing that he has. Now, a bunch of people are getting these other mystical things, they're like weird ghosts, if you will. They're getting it from a weird ghost arrow that is being stabbed by people. Now, Dio is behind it all, of course, right? He is causing people to be manipulated with his, flesh blood. He is doing a bunch of craziness. Fast forward, right? He makes you fight all these people to come eventually get to him. You get to him. He stops time. Hits you with a bunch of knives. Just throws them at you. Hits you with a steamroller. You have stopped time yourself, right? Have stopped your heart from beating just so he can go away for you to then punch him to death. Craziness. He doesn't die, by the way. There's a bunch of other craziness that happens. But yeah, that's how deep the rivalry really goes. It's multi like generational. Like we got this generation, then we got this generation, and then later on, like we even focus on like his grandson and his plights and his conditions. Right now in the current storyline, I do think that they're not to be spoilery, but I do think that there is maybe a chance of him coming back, but it's not guaranteed. So yeah, that's just how deep that one goes. It's mentally insane just to think about. Dio is a crazy villain. Stans is a crazy power. Yeah. Positivity. We're jumping right back into this. Honorable mention, man. Your second dog that you get who likes to eat coffee-flavored bubble gum is super mega hard. And him fighting the bird is just so good. I know that, like, it's kind of a weird thing to like the dog because he's mean, but, like, I personally love the dog. Shout out the dog, R.I.P. Now, we're really on to the next one. Middle of the map, middle of the list. We're talking about a mid-anime, and what is that? It is Naruto. Now, this anime rivalry is kind of the same as the last one, but more evolved. So this is going to be the reincarnations of Ashura and Indra. Now, they get reincarnated into Hashirama and then Madara, and then they get reincarnated into Sasuke and Naruto. Can't believe I forgot the main character's name. Whatever. Positivity. So, it's really crazy to think about. Like, we're going all the way back now. We're going way back to the beginning of everything, basically. There's not jutsu. There's not even hand signs. There's not anything. There are two brothers, though. There's Indra and then there's Ashura. Now, Indra is really meticulous, right? Like, he's focused. That's like a thing that you notice in a lot of the anime rivalries is there's a lot of like yins and yangs. There's a lot of like oil and water, you know, forced together. It makes them great. But regardless, he learns a whole bunch of stuff. He's actually the inventor of hand signs. He's the inventor of jutsu. He's not the inventor of chakra because chakra's always been around. But his little brother really does love everybody, right? Like, he talks to everybody. He wants to finish training and then go play with his friends. His older brother just wants to finish training and go train in the backyard. Yeah, I mean, that's really what he wants to do. He wants to be the strongest. He's approached by this weird shadowy figure. He gets really power hungry, right? He's like, hey, you know, power is going to be the thing that sustains everything, and the way you get power is by tearing love out of your heart. So he gets the Sharingan. He's the first Sharingan user. Everybody knows the Sharingan. It's those crazy eyes. But regardless, everything goes on with that, I'm not going to go into the whole history of Naruto, but regardless, they then get reincarnated. Now you have Hashirama, you have Madara, you have an Uchiha, and you have a Senju, right? So Hashirama meets Madara, they're kicking it, they start skipping some rocks. Hashirama can skip more rocks than Madara. Madara's like, what? The amount, the distance. He can skip the rock farther. Madara's brother was killed. You know, Hashirama's family was killed. Hashirama's telling his dad, like, hey, kids shouldn't be out here fighting in this crazy war. His dad's like, bow, just punches him. Crazy. A lot of people don't remember that. I do. Regardless, it's a crazy rivalry. You know, Hashirama has the chance to kill Madara when everything's said and done. After Madara had thrown the Nine Tails at him, after Hashirama used the giant wood golem, after everything was said and done, Hashirama used a clone, right, to trick Madara and then get the upper hand. The second Hokage was gonna kill him, right? He was gonna come down, and then Hashirama was like, no! The bloodshed ends here. And that goes back to the reincarnation that, like, it's all about love, right? It's all about love. One's about power, one's about love. They need to get along together. They can't seem to ever do it. Bam! Reincarnated into Naruto and Sasuke. The rivalry is still going. They're still, you know, butting heads.
We have Naruto fighting Sasuke when they come at each other and clash when the water towers get messed up. That's a really good scene that we can show, just because on the surface level, the water tower, right, wasn't affected as much as Sasuke's, right? Naruto's wasn't. At the surface level, you'd be like, oh, you know, Sasuke did more damage. The holes were bigger. But then when you look at everything, you look at the other side, Naruto completely obliterated it, right? So it's just contrast. Like, the power aspect does look more appealing, but at the end of the day, it is really about love, and that's more powerful because you get more done with community than you do just being the solely the best, blah, 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 blah. Regardless, we go in, and Naruto has just saved everybody. Sasuke's trying to kill everybody. No, he's really not trying to kill everybody. He's trying to keep everybody in an infinite dream, like the infinite Tsukuyomi, to have, like, paradise. But that's really not cool, right? The rivalry's going and going and going and going and going until, like, Sasuke's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to prove to you that being alone and that having nobody with me makes me the ultimate. And then Naruto's like, no, I'm gonna bring, I love you so much that, like, I'm not gonna let you kill me. I'm gonna show you that love is the only way. Naruto's arm gets blown off, so does Sasuke's. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, the rivalry is just epic. It's mentally insane, as you can tell. Naruto did a really, really good job with that. Super good job with that. But yeah, that is the rivalry of the incarnations. Indra, Ashura, Hashirama, Madara, Naruto, and Sasuke. And yes, I'm allowed to combine them all. Seto Kaiba and the Pharaoh. Now, we will speak. Now, we will speak of Doom Monsters. Alright, guys. So this rivalry is crazy, just because it does go over time, just like all the other rivalries, but this one also goes over, like, dimensions. It goes over just everything. And it also goes over a child's card game. But regardless, starts off way back in the day, right? Like, Homeboy is a priest, right? And then Homeboy's a pharaoh, and they're playing this card game. He takes an L. Bow. Homeboy gets beat. He's like, that will never, ever, ever happen to me again. Flash forward to the future, he takes an L from that same guy, but he's like inside of a small child. Shout out Yukimoto. Shout out Exodia, by the way. But regardless, Kaiba takes a fat L. We all know about the Blue Eyes White Dragon. We all know about the crazy three-headed Blue Eyes White Dragon. We all know about Kaiba. Kaiba is crazy, right? Like, let's just take a minute to highlight this. Kaiba took this L. He then used his technology to go inside of his mind and replicate a 3D, totally immersive, alternate reality, basically, where you can go in and you could fight somebody who you had fought in your past, right? So of course he went in to beat the Pharaoh. He ended up beating the Pharaoh. It's crazy. He was like, I spent the most time on his perfectly wafted hair, blah, 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 blah. Regardless, that's how deep Seto Kaiba literally went through a multi-dimensional battle. You know, he's in here wanting to fight the Pharaoh. This guy's trying to make it to where he can't fight the Pharaoh. He then summons a god card when he's not even supposed to be able to summon monsters. He's like, it's not a monster, it's a god. Just so he can battle in a kid's card game. He took a L one time, and now it's just always intensified. Number 2 is definitely crazy. I sit here and I contemplate, what could be number 1? What is the most epic anime rivalry in this magnificent mind of mine? What could it be? It's Goku. It's Vegeta. It's super simple. We fight
We try to destroy the planet. We are Saiyans. It is in our genealogy. It is in our blood. It's a crazy rivalry. So let's start from the beginning. Right, you had Raditz, you had him killing Goku, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't really matter. We're talking about Goku. We're talking about Vegeta, right? Vegeta comes to the planet. Vegeta lets his homie run fades on all of Goku's friends. Beats him up, beats his son up, does a whole bunch of stuff. Goku then gets there and is like, hey! Beats up Baldy, Kaioken. No, actually I don't think he even Kaiokens. Regardless. Beats up Baldy, does all that stuff. Does he Kaioken? I don't know. I think he does. We're going to have to go back and look at that. Regardless. Then he's fighting Vegeta. Vegeta really does beat him the first time. Like, a lot of people want to say that Vegeta's never gotten a victory against Goku. He really did. The first time that they fought, if they would have kept going, I definitely think Vegeta would have won. He did the planet-ending beam, and it really didn't even do anything to the planet because Homeboy stopped it with the Kamehameha. He pushed his body to ×3 with the Kaioken. The rest is history. Regardless, Goku was out for the count. Vegeta could still move at that point. So I definitely think Vegeta takes the victory on that. But it's like a moral defeat. So we kind of skip forward a bunch. And then they're fighting on Namek. Vegeta tries to beat Frieza. Vegeta cannot beat Frieza. But then Goku, of course, ascends to Super Saiyan and beats him. So there's another thing that's just like a big ego punch to Vegeta. He feels like he's always second dog because he really is. In this rivalry, it's always Vegeta trying to push up on top of Goku and then Goku just surpassing him. We skip forward. Goku is actually allowed to come back to life. Right? He's allowed to fight in a tournament that he's been fighting in since he was a child. He came back to do it. He came back to see his grandson. A whole bunch of different stuff. He really doesn't care about his grandson. Goku is not a good dad. Do you guys think Goku's a good dad? I think Piccolo is a better father than Goku. Regardless, they fight, right? Vegeta wants Goku to take it serious. Like, he has this Majin symbol on his thing. You got a crazy wizard clone who is wanting to get a bunch of power, so he has them fight. Vegeta then blows up half of a stadium just so Goku takes it serious. But if you realize, if you really go back and analyze, Goku had Super Saiyan 3 at that point, and he could have just bested Vegeta. But because the rivalry is how it is, and because he didn't want to pull it out of his butt, I guess, and story writing, he didn't use Super Saiyan 3. Regardless, they end up fighting. He blows up all the people, so he takes it serious. They do all this stuff. They go forward. Then you got them not even wanting to fuse, right? So they're